Hello everyone. Yeah, waited. Let's start with the today's event. Today we are going to discuss about Azure Compute. Uh, yeah, this month we have a series which we are will be discussing about Azure Compute. Then we'll discuss about VM scale set, and then how storage, Azure storage, how Azure storage we can use on the compute, and also the keywords. Using keywords, how we can perform the how keywords can be useful when we are on a compute, like storing secrets, VM password secrets, or we are doing the Azure disk encryption. We'll see that in Azure keyword session. Myself, Malik, I'm the cloud solution architect. Yeah. Today's agenda, Azure will see what is Azure Virtual Machine, and then Azure Virtual Machine various sizes, and then the disks, Azure Managed Disk, which we will be used for the VMs, virtual machines. And we'll discuss about Azure Hybrid Benefit, what is it, and how to acclaim it. And then we have reservations, Azure reservations to reduce the pricing on the VM cost. During this session, we'll have a demo, and then you can, on the right-hand side, you can find the Q&A. In case if you have any questions, please post the questions. So during the Q&A session, I'll try to answer those. As you know, the Azure offers infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and software as a service. For example, the virtual machines comes under infrastructure as a service. As you see, the application data, runtime, and middleware is completely managed by the user, whereas server storage and networking and virtualization is managed by Azure. When it comes to platform as a service, only we need to maintain the application and data. For example, if you see the web app, the example for the platform as a service is the web app, where you when the web app, the backend platform is managed by Azure. Only what we need to take care is about the application and data. And as software as a service, when it comes to example, Azure DevOps service is one of the example, and also the Office 365. These are the, for example, let's say software as a service offerings. As you know, Azure DevOps is the cloud offering where the complete platform is managed by Azure, where you will be using we need not to worry about the Azure DevOps, how it is being hosted, what is the availability and all. Azure DevOps gives you 99.9 and service level agreement as a software as a service. This is the Azure offering where we have, for example, infrastructure as a service, you have a load balancer. Azure load balancer comes in, IaaS offering. Like that, we have various other services comes under IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS. Today, we are discussing about Azure Virtual Machine. As I said, Azure Infrastructure as a Service, where what customer is managed and what the Microsoft Azure is managed. Let's say you want to deploy your the OS patching in case if you're running any Java or .NET workloads on your Windows or Linux virtual machines, how you're going to maintain your data. These all will be taken care by the customer, means us. And when it comes to the server availability, storage, and networking, will be provided by Microsoft Azure. So how do I choose Azure virtual machines? When do I choose Azure virtual machines? Okay. In case you are trying to start new journey in Microsoft Azure, you want to quickly deploy your application, create a new application, and then test it. You can use it. Or let's say you want to migrate using Azure Migrate. If you are trying to migrate your workloads using the Azure Migrate, you can migrate the workloads to Azure. That is where or if you have a, the VHD image, let's say you are shifting your image from on-premises to Azure, and then you are trying to create a VM using the VHD and try to test your VM image using during that you can use the virtual machine. So where you will have a full control. I mean, how you want to like a OS patching, or you want to do a user administration, whom you need to give an admin access and all. So this is where the virtual machine comes in picture. When it comes to the Azure Virtual Machine, we have various when you say Azure Compute, okay, how do I select my Azure Compute? Let's say the CPU and RAM. The there are various models. When it comes to Azure, we may get confused what needs to be selected. I think I presented only few here. There are other. If you go in detail, we'll come to know. So here, when you want to select, let's say you have a general usage where you want to have a balanced CPU for, let's say, 4 CPU, 8 GB RAM is the ideal workload, general purpose workloads. You can use those series. And let's say you want to have a memory optimized. Let's say your high memory to CPU means you have a less the compute less requirement of a CPU, but you need a memory requirement of 128 GB. Such kind of memory requirements, when it comes to Azure Compute, you can select the memory optimized E-series. E-series will give you the edge to select the high memory VM sizes. I'll come to that when we go to the demo. And these are the only few I presented here. There are many other Azure Compute VM sizes. It depends upon our workload, how we are going to choose the VM SKUs. Here there are as soon I think Azure will be releasing the latest series as soon as they are ready. If you see the D series or E series, there are two versions in D series and two versions in E series. Yes, we need to go and find out what is the version changes. I will show you what is the difference between during our demo. We'll see what is the difference between D series V3 and D series V4, so that we'll come to understand, and then we can select the sizes. These are the available sizes. What you call Azure Compute SKUs. Let's talk about the disks. When it comes to Azure Virtual Machine, where you have to run your boot and then the data disks. Let's say here I've presented the Windows Virtual Machine. Assuming here is a Windows Virtual Machine, you have OS disk, and then you have a data disks. Also using the you can have your Azure storage file share added to your Windows machine or Linux machine. During Azure storage, the presentation, I will show you how you can create the SMB share, file share, and then add it to the virtual machine during that session. So basic to understand, the Azure Virtual Machine definitely will have a kind of a disk where the data will be OS disk will be there, and then you have your data disks. This will be coming from the Azure managed disk. This will be coming from the Azure data disk. Okay, yeah. So if you see here, let me go to the presentation. Yeah, we were discussing about the Azure disk. Then you have a temporary disk also. We'll discuss that when during the demo. We'll see how the temporary disk, what is a temporary disk, and why it is there. Temporary disk is available for a certain SKUs, VM sizes. In case any data which is stored on that during the VM reboot, the data will be lost. That is why this is called as a temporary disk. You should be aware of. You cannot have the persistent data stored on the temporary D drive. When it comes to Azure disk, these are the various disk types we have: Ultra disk, then Premium SSD, then Standard SSD, and Standard HDD. Each will give you the performance throughput based on your SKU. So based on your workloads, let's say you don't have any critical workloads. When there is no critical workloads, you can use the Standard HDD disks for your VM. Let's say you want to have a performance-based workloads, you can use Ultra disk or a Premium SSD, where it can give you the IPO, input and output processing speed for you on the data disks. So I've taken an example before we go here. Yeah. So let's say the standard HDD disk. If you see the SKU is S4, S6, S10. What is it? S4 is nothing but a 32 GB of size. This is the SKU which you will be choosing in case if you want to deploy, if you want to add the data disk to your VM. If you want to create a 50 GB or a odd number other than these SKUs, you will be charged to the nearest available. For example, if I give an example to understand, if you see here, there is S10 size SKU of 128 GB. And let's say you're trying to create a 80 GB. So what is the price you will be charging on? It will be the nearest will be 128 GB. So either you have to choose 64 GB or 128 GB. Else the pricing will be considered for 128 GB. Even though you are using 80 GB disk, but the pricing will be considered for 128 GB. So here, when you are selecting the Azure disk, you have to select the SKU based on the SKU. You have to select your disk. Else the price will be charged to the nearest highest SKU. So here, if you see the in premium disk, we have as I was telling the SKUs, the disk SKUs. There's a P1 in the premium. We call it as a P1, and then P12, P3, P4, P6, and then P10, P20. What are all these? These are the SKUs. Let's say you are selecting P50. How much you are going to get? You will be getting a disk of 2048. This is the 4096. This is the P50. You will be getting 4096 GB there. I'll come to the the reservations. The last line will come to once we see the reservations. I'll come back to this slide. Yes, Azure disk you can also reserve for 1 year so that the price will be reduced. The only reservations are available in the premium disk, not on the standard when you go to. We don't have any other not standard or a standard SSD. You cannot reserve. Currently, we have the premium SSD disks can be reserved to save the cost. So while we are seeing the Azure disk, let me show you. Okay. So here, if I go on to select the VM, so this is where we are talking about Azure disks. If you see the disk type, standard HDD LRS, which I have taken for my deployment for today's demo. Let's say you want to create a new disk and attach to it. Here you can give a disk name like a data disk. And then here you can select. Here we have premium SSD and then standard, and then we have ultra disk. These are the 4 different types of disk which we have. Each will give you the different. If you, let's say you are selecting a 4 GB of size, and then you are selecting ultra disk. If you see the max throughput, this is what you get. Let's say I'm selecting 4 GB on premium SSD. Premium SSD. Let's say we select premium SSD. Yeah. And then we create another disk with the standard SSD, you see. And then I think, yeah. So here there is a limitation when we are trying to add the data disks to the VM. When you go to the sizes, we'll talk about limitations too. Now, let's see the VM. We talked about VM sizes. Let's see the VM sizes here. If you see the VM sizes, the current size, the model which I'm already using, let's go here. For this demo, I've taken a standard V1MS. Okay. Let's go to you click on the size here. You see here the number that is 2. So the max number of disks what you can add, it is based on the SKU. Let's say you are planning to add more than 2 disks, then this is not your choice. The standard V1MS is not your choice. Then you have to look for the supported. Let's say you have to go for a B4MS or BTMS where it supports the number of data disks can be added here. And we were talking about the. Let's go back to the. So that is the reason I'm not able to add here. Another data disk here. So since I already added 2 data disks, now I'm not getting the option to add since the VM SKU is standard V1S. Yes, let's see the standard HDD. You see this you get. Let's say I'm putting 4. I'm selecting a 4 GB. Okay, standard HDD is 32. HDD is 32, or let's say you want to put the premium for ultra disk, you're going to put for 32. You see, this is what we get when we are selecting the, based on the disk type and disk, you will get the max IPOs. Yeah, so let's go back to the slide. So here, yes, we were telling even the disk size, if you are selecting, you have to select the SKU. Let's say you want to have, you cannot select, let's say you are looking for 80 GB, right? Still, the you can create 80 GB. There is no limitation, but the price will be charged for 128 GB. So when you're selecting your data disk, you have to select the based on the SKUs. SKU pricing. So here, so these are the available SKUs. Let's go here. When it comes to data disk, Azure data disk, you can see the file storage, Azure disk storage. So go to pricing. Okay, I think I will. Azure disk pricing. If you go to the pricing table, you need to select your the region where you're looking for the disk, and then the currency. In case now I'm just selecting the West Europe region and then the US dollar. So if you go here, so these are the SKUs. Even this is on the premium disk. Let's say if you want to go for a standard SSD managed disk. So here these are the available SKUs. So each has, so this is where the disk size, in case if you're taking 10 GB, but still the price will come for the 16 GB. So that's how you have to plan when you're planning the data disks to the virtual machine. You have to choose these SKUs, these sizes. Let's go back to the slide. Yeah. This is about Azure Disk. Let's talk about hybrid benefit for the. What is hybrid benefit? Hybrid benefit is nothing but you have a license on your on-premise of the Windows Server license, and you want to utilize on the Azure cloud. This is Azure hybrid benefit, which you want to utilize in Azure cloud. Let's say in the on-premises, you already have a Windows Server licensing, and you want to utilize them on Azure so that to save the cost. Here, let's say you have 100 licenses which you already procured from Microsoft, and then only out of 100 you're using only 30, and let's say 70% of workload is being used in on-premises. And if the available 30% you want to use it in Azure, yes, you can use it. That is where Azure allows you. This is nothing but Azure hybrid benefit for Windows servers. You can run the Windows virtual machines on Azure at a reduced cost. This is the almost 50% savings you will see when you enable the Azure hybrid benefit for the Windows servers. This is a sample in case if you don't have a hybrid benefit, what is the cost? In case if you are applying an Azure hybrid benefit, you will see almost 50% reduced annual savings on the one Windows server, for example. And let's say you have a SQL Server Standard Press Edition licensing and you want to use that in Azure cloud, you can use it. This is how the table explains how much savings you are going to have when you are going to use the Azure SQL Standard Enterprise Edition within a Windows Server. Azure Hybrid Benefit is nothing but you want to apply your on-premises licenses to the Azure cloud virtual machines. So this is the feature which we have in Azure. You can how to convert, let's say, for example, how do you have a virtual machine and you want to use the hybrid benefit? It's a simple, when you go to the portal on the configuration, when the VM blade, we call it as a VM blade. Let me show you that. So when you go to the VM blade, this is the configuration. Sorry, this is the virtual Windows, this is Linux virtual machine. So that is where, or let's say we try to create it. Let's say create a VM and then go to the Windows 2000 data center server. And so I'm giving my, for example, something I'm giving. I'm going to go down. See, this is the option. While creating a VM, you can use the, you can save up to 49%. Let's say you have to click it and then you have to agree to the, I confirm you're saying you're authorizing that, yes, I have the Windows licenses, which I can use in Azure. So once you select this option, the price will be reduced on your virtual machine. So for the existing virtual machines, you can go to the VM blade and then select on the configuration. Then you can enable the option. Let's say if you want to, you're an infrastructure admin or a developer, you want to run through PowerShell command or an Azure CLI command, you can do that. By running this command, let's say you're an existing VM and you want to update you want to utilize the Azure hybrid benefit. By running this command, you can bring your VM to the Azure hybrid benefit plan. In case if you want to know whether your VM is already part of this hybrid plan or not, just by running this command, then you will come to know whether the license type is Windows Server or not. If the license type is none, means the Azure hybrid benefit has not been applied. If Azure hybrid benefit is applied, then you will see this expected output. License type is Windows Server. So who can do that? We'll come to that. Now, when it comes to Azure benefit we talked about Windows servers. Now this is about Linux servers. Linux servers is nothing but to bring your own subscription for a Red Hat or a SUSE. For Linux virtual machines, Azure allows you to bring your own subscription so that you can save the software subscription cost when you are deploying the Linux virtual machines on Azure. Yeah. So if you see now you get a charge only for the cloud compute, not for the software subscription. Yes, as shown, where if you go to the same thing, if you want to apply the license, the subscription license on the SUSE or Red Hat, there is a procedure which need to be followed. There is a below link where 3-4 steps. By using those steps, we can apply the Azure hybrid benefit for Linux servers. So this is about talked about the Azure hybrid benefit. What is reservations? Reservation, before we talk about reservation, generally when you go to the Azure subscription, you will have a pay-as-you-go account or let's say when you are running what is pay-as-you-go? When you are running the instances in Azure, you want to pay as you run. Let's say today I'm running 2 hours. My Azure compute, I will pay as when I use the instances, I'll be billed as per my usage. Let's say you have now you've tested out and you want to completely migrate to Azure, or you want to run the workload which is continuous workload, then better you plan looking out for reservations. What is a reservation? Reservation will give you a discount. Let me show you the discount. For example, see, I have a VM here. Okay, if you see the VM, let's say the VM size is BTMS. And what is the cost per month? $70 is the cost per month. Yeah, if you apply the reservation, okay, you get monthly price is 26 USD. So almost 62% is saved when you reserve. That is the reservation. will give you the benefit when it comes to, let's say you we'll talk about the reservation. When you reserve instances, you will get the reduced cost. So what is a reservation? A reservation can help you save money when you commit let's say you have to commit to the Microsoft Azure, saying that I will give a commitment of 1 year, 3 year, or 5 year. Based on the plans, you will get the reduced cost. Here, the max benefit you will get, other than pay as you go, 72% reduced cost benefit you will get when you reserve the Azure instances. I'll show you what is how do you reserve that. These are about reservation. These are the plans we have: 1 year, 3 year, 5 year reservations. So how do you pay? I mean, you can pay on the upfront. Let's say you are reserving for 1 year and you can pay for upfront, or you can pay for monthly. As this, okay, let's see here. I'm here in the screen. Let's go back again. So here is the reservation screen. For example, you go and purchase now. So you're purchasing reservation. These are the Azure offerings which are available for reservation. Today we're discussing about Azure Compute. I click on the Azure Virtual Machine. So let's loading it. Yeah. So now, yeah. So what I'm selecting, BTMS. So currently I have mine is a pay as you go subscription, which I have, my personal one. So if you see standard BTMS, here the term you want to select for 1 year, you want to select for 3 years, or you want to select for 5 years. And then billing frequency, you can say if you want to pay upfront, you can add to cart and pay it, or you can pay monthly. Let's say you're committing for 1 year and you will be paying monthly. Let's say what is the cost, BTMS. So you're going to pay 41 USD. In case if you want to do a pay as you go, let's see what is the price for pay as you go. So I'm the VM, I'm clicking on the VM, and the VM, if you go to the VM sizes, BTMS, the price is loading here. So how much it is now monthly? If you don't have a reservation and you want to go pay, you want to utilize this SKU pay as you go, then you will be billed monthly $70. So by doing the reservation, where is the reservation? Ready to go? Sorry, yeah, this is the reservation. If you see the reservation, then if you're doing for 1 year reservation, you're going to pay monthly. Then this is the cost. So almost 41% is reduced based on the when it compared to pay as you go when you are doing a reservation. Yeah. So this is the reservation. So who can do the reservation, right? In Azure, you'll have various roles to perform this job. When it comes to a owner can do the reservation, or a user who has a reservation purchase role, they can do the reservations. Let's say your enterprise account will have a owners for the subscription, or a user who has a reservation purchaser role. Those can do the reservation. So what is the scope? What is the scope of what do you mean by scope of reservation? You want to do a reservation for a single resource group, or a single subscription, or a shared scope. So what is let's say subscription? You have multiple subscriptions. You want to apply the reservation on only a subscription. Okay, that is why we have a scope here. Let's see that here. If you see the scope here. So let's say I have a single subscription. Let's say I have multiple subscription. So I may select my whichever the subscription which I want. Right now I have only one subscription, whether the rest are inactive, not active. In case if you're having a multiple subscriptions here, you can select the subscription and you can reserve the, let's say this, let's say you want to select the BTMS, you want to select on a single subscription and you want to reserve it. And add to cart and purchase it. That is how you can do the scope. Let's say for a resource group, in case of a resource group, you can select your, I have a ABC VMRG. So I'm going to select the scope as a resource group. So whatever the virtual machines are deployed to this particular scope will be applicable. Yeah. So who can buy, and then what is the scope to reserve? Either you can put a scope onto the either you can select the subscription or a resource group or a shared scope. I mean, shared scope is nothing but eligible subscriptions. So yes, we talked about hybrid benefit. So on top of it, hybrid benefit, do I get the Azure reservation discount? Yes, you will get it. Now we are reserving the instances, which is reduced cost. If you reserve for 1 year, we get a 40% discount. If you're reserving for 3 years, you will get 70% discount. On top of it, you are going to enable the hybrid benefit on the reserved instances. Let's say your VM is reserved, and then you want to have utilize the hybrid benefit. Hybrid benefit is nothing but you are having your on-premise licenses and you want to apply to the reserved instances. Yes, it is applicable. You will get the this means that you purchased compute cost will be discounted. This can be applicable. AHB benefit can be applicable on RHEL or Linux and Windows machines. So here we talked about even data disk you can reserve. When we are discussing about Azure data disk, yes, we can reserve this particular SKU P30 or P40 or these are the SKUs which are available for reservation. So once you reserved, then let's see that if I go here, let me close this Azure Managed Disks. They are trying to see the Azure disk reservation. So these are the again, it depends upon the region where you are selecting. Let's say you are selecting a different region, then it may, let's say, what do you want to be select East US. Yeah, I think we have only this. Yeah, so we can select it, and then the P30. You can select it and you can start paying monthly or upfront. So these are the data disk reservation can also be done. Not selecting anything. So these are the disks which can be reserved. So how much the price? Let's say the price. Let it load. Then we'll see the pricing here for monthly pricing. The P40. P40 is coming around price per month. P40 is coming $284. Yeah, let's go and check here. See, monthly price is quite reduced. Almost we got no, sorry, P40, right? P40. P40 when you're reserving. Okay, we are got only 5% estimated savings per year. Yeah, per month. Okay, monthly price 246 USD. Yeah, P40 246. I think we have got a 5% discount there. So these are the you can reserve the disk and you can reserve the Azure. These are the other offerings which are available in Azure, so that you can reserve and reduce the billing. Yeah. So let's go back to the let's see the SKUs. Yeah. I was talking about the during the demo. What is the difference between D series V3? Let's go to the D series. D series V4 and then D series V3. Okay. If you see D series V3, if you see D4 is V3, and then Where is it? You see, this 32 temporary storage is available here when it comes to D4S V3. Let's say D4S V4, you don't have a temporary disk. Temporary disk is 0. When you create a VM using D4S V4 SKU, you will not be getting a D drive, the temporary storage. But as when you create the D4S V3, you will be getting a 32 GB temporary drive. So let's see what is the difference between them. D4S V3 cost with the temporary storage is $175 per month. In case if you don't want to have a 32 GB of temporary storage, you are going with the D4S V4, then the price is reduced. You see almost $8 is being reduced since there is no temporary storage coming up with the SKU. This is the one of the difference when you compare with the new version of SKUs. There are quite other features. I mean, we can get into more detail. Let me open the URL. So if you see the same time, let's you would like to know what is the available SKU in your region. Okay, these are the regions which are available. Let's say not all series will be available in each region. So you need to check in the availability table. I think let's say East Asia, we don't have DC. DC is nothing but a confidential compute. DC is nothing but a confidential compute where your data and code will be using, I think, DC. Data, yeah. So this is the table which we have. You can verify. Let's say we go to the Brazil. No, yeah, West Europe. I'm checking on the West Europe. If you see the West Europe, the most of the all the available SKUs are available. When it comes to North Europe, you don't have the NDS series, right? So this though you have to when you, before selecting your VM, you have to check validate whether the selected SKU is available in your region or not. This table gives you the availability. And then what is the difference between DV4 and VS4? If you go here, let's say for the where is it? This one, D series. We have D4S and then D series V3. I think that is D4. D4 DS is there. D4S V4 is there. Okay. DV4. Where is it? DV4. Oh, D. So when you go to D4S V series. Okay. Again, there is one more classification which I forgot to tell. Let's say you want to use two network cards onto your. Let's say you want to have two network interface cards on your VM. So let's say you want to have 4. So D8S or D16 will support you 8 max NIC cards, the network interface cards. Right? You have different workloads and you have let's say your VM you're running your compute workload. And you have 2 applications running on your VM, and 2 applications need to be tagged to 2 different IPs. But then during the such scenario, you need to see that SKU is available to support the max 2 NICs. So you need to check the compatibility matrix here when you are selecting the VM. Let's say you have 4 applications running and you want to have 4 applications running on your VM tagged to 4 different IPs, right? Then the D2V4 or D4V4 will not be supported. You need to go with the D8. So this is how you plan your other VM SKUs. When it comes to DV4 or DV4 series, there is no difference when it comes to costing. I think this is the computing unit. Premium storage is supported. Yeah, this is another point where you some of the workloads will not support the premium. Will not support the. If you see here, the premium disk. Premium disk is supported here. Let's go to the B series. I think B series the premium disk is supported. You see the A series, the premium disk is not supported. Let's say you are planning a workload, a virtual machine using a series VM SKU, and you want to attach a premium disk, it is not supported. So this is how you have to do the compatibility matrix when you are planning the VM SKUs. Yeah. So not all, let's say, let's go to the VM. I'll show you another example. When you're creating a Windows virtual machine, let's say I'm selecting the availability zone 1 and then see all sizes. Okay. Then I'm selecting the DC. You see, sizes are not supported in zone 1. What is zone 1? If you see the VM which we are trying to create, I selected in zone 1. I want to place my VM ABCD123 in South Central availability zone 1. So this model is not available in. So that is how when let's say you are not selecting any kind of availability option, then if you go to the sizes, then you select confidential compute. You see, these are all available. There is no, there is no warning here saying that it is not available in zone 1. So this is how you have to select when you're planning your VM deployment. You have to select the SKU based on the zones. Sorry, there's a compatibility matrix when you're placing your VM in a zone. What kind of SKUs are available to select, right? So this is about the how do you select the VM SKUs? Yeah. And yes, this is about the marketplace images which you want to choose in case if you want to select the Red Hat Enterprise Linux, you can select this. I think licenses, yes, but I think we have to go and do this. Yeah. So this is about today's session. Let's see the questions. Okay. Yes, let me ask the first question. First question, hi. If you have the license in PaaS kind of platform in on-prem, how does the license cost work in cloud? Yes, in on-premises, let's say you have the Windows Server licenses. As I said, we need to just Microsoft knows since we are the tenant, which the Microsoft we are the Microsoft knows that you are an on-premises subscriber and you are the Microsoft Cloud subscriber. They will have this, the license quantity about the enterprise user. So by going into the portal, as I shown in the, you can enable that. So either of these, any of these three options, we can go and enable the on-premises licenses here in Azure in cloud. Okay, we are talking about the NIC cards. In that scenario, can we use VIPs, virtual IPs? Yeah. Why do you need a physical NIC card? Yeah, here this is the there is no virtual IP. When it comes to Azure Compute, definitely you need to add a network interface card from your. It comes from your subnet. It is a kind of a what you call virtual IP only. Whatever the network interface card IP which is coming from the subnet is nothing but a virtual IP. In case if you you want to use the scenario where you have three applications and the three applications are hosted on a different IPs. So definitely you need to add three network interface cards here. Based on that, you have to select the VM SKU. Okay, thanks for joining the session. See you in the next session.